Virginia, outside of Washington. And our company is a consulting company. I serve in the logistics and supply chain telecommunications area, and a large part of our work is also in the postal service. I'm happy to lead today's presentation of the webinar, which is entitled An Overview and Framework for Postal Platform, which is the title now on the slide. The outline of our presentation today is going to be as follows. The first part of the presentation focuses on the concept of platform. What is a platform? Why are we talking about them today? And I'll provide some examples of commercial platforms and ecosystems. The second part of the presentation will be devoted to the concept of postal mailing and shipping industry platform. So how do we apply the concept of the platform to the postal mailing and shipping area, postal ecosystems and infrastructure? Why should we develop a postal platform, and how do we do that? And we will finish by the next step, what we need to do to move that direction. So first I will start talking about the concept of platform. And this concept of platform was developed a few years back by folks at the MIT Center for Digital Innovation. And they basically observed what was happening primarily in the computer and social media arena, and they described what was happening with this new concept of platform. So on the next slide, I've outlined basically what this concept is about, and I will detail every one of the elements as we go along. The concept of platform is essentially a business model. A business model that is designed to bring in more revenue, to bring in innovation into the company or a platform sponsor as we grow this work with, and for managing risk, the risk of coming up with new innovation and new programs. The platform is essentially an infrastructure that's designed to, in many cases, work with the computer infrastructure for a distribution system that can be virtual distribution system, an electronic distribution, and as we will see also physical distribution system. On this platform, there are a number of applications that interact with users, and these applications interact on the platform following a certain number of rules of the game, which I will detail in a few minutes. And together, the application and the platform infrastructure, under the right circumstances, produce what are called network effects, and I will talk about that as well. In the next slide, you can see a graph that shows that it compares the value of the Microsoft company with the Apple company in the years 1981 to 1997. And if you follow the blue line compared to the orange line, the value of the Microsoft company grew much faster than the Apple company. And the reason for that is that Microsoft had a different strategy about opening up its infrastructure, its operating system, to third-party, private, commercial developers. And at the end of the period, that Microsoft had built a huge developer ecosystem. In developers come up with new applications. Microsoft, on the other side, made it very easy for application developers to come up with new applications like accounting systems, graphic programs, and so forth. And private developers use their own money, their own capital, and their own chances to develop these applications. And Microsoft was very happy to host them or made it possible for them to work on the Microsoft Windows system. Because it didn't essentially have to put any money or very little money for those applications come in. And this is where we start talking about networking, right? Essentially, you have users on the one side that are interested in coming onto the platform, in this case, Microsoft Windows, because there's lots of developers creating new applications that would make your interest to use. And on the other hand, the developers are attracted to the platform because there are nice users. And this is what we refer to as network effect. On the next slide, you can see what happened in the following decade, between 1998 and 2009. Here's the student. Well, the first of job. And Steve Jobs was quoted as saying that I sell songs, basically this is the iTunes system, the iTunes platform, in order to sell songs. So this was a deliberate strategy to open up the iTunes system, first to sell songs, but then later on to sell applications, and encourage application developers and songwriters bring their creations to the iTunes marketplace. So Apple then moved to a platform strategy where they used the iTunes, the iTunes platform, and invite people to come and sell their creations on there. And the orange line that shows the value of the Apple company, which then overtook Microsoft as the largest technology firm in the United States. Essentially, Microsoft. On the next slide, we are recasting or presenting again the notion of network effect. So, as I mentioned before, the users create the demand for applications, for services, and then you can start thinking about how that would look like under the Postal framework. So basically, you have users, shippers, printers, marketing companies, and so forth. They're interested in joining and using the platform because other types of users, the developers, are coming up with innovative and interesting applications that are of interest to the demand side users. So on the next slide, talked about a few minutes ago, Microsoft and Apple are both a platform type of businesses, and their revenue model is the largest type of the platform concept. The next slide, Google and Facebook are also, or have also moved into the platform businesses with their platform strategies, particularly Facebook, where there are many new applications every day that are made available online, and that brings a lot of interest to try and choose these applications. More users on the on the next slide, basically graphically show the elements of the platform. In the center, you see a number of happy users holding hands, and around these users, icons and the platform. You sticking out and build a full plan. And essentially, the plan represents the rules of the game, the revenue rules, the physical, the interaction, but also the intellectual property rules that are enabling these applications going and use the platform. So those are things that are very important. Without that, there wouldn't really be a platform strategy. On the next slide, we see a bar chart that really depicts the concept that applications that are put together by the developers may not, each of them, bring a lot of pieces together with the multitude of applications and the different user applications with the risk taken by for developers. That creates a long tail on the right that creates a significant amount of, or potentially a significant amount of profit and revenue into the platform. To the left of the bar chart, here are the applications which are the data applications, which may be taken over or focused on by the sponsor company themselves, like Microsoft or Google, which may be the search engine that Google owns, and so forth. So the company itself may focus on a select number of applications. The ones that are most important is the one that can most integrated amongst themselves within the platform to then open up the platform for this long tail of applications that can be provided at no charge to the sponsor and without any risk. On the next slide, we discuss briefly whether application is developed in-house or like third-party private individuals. In this case, the IT for the Facebook applications are primarily done by third parties, primarily entrepreneurs, which are investing their own time and providing their own creativity and ideas and concepts. And they also, this is the third party, developers also have to come up with their own unique marketing strategy and things in order to bring the users to the platform and leverage their creation. They're risking their own capital and to develop and commercialize their own products. So there's really very little involvement from this capital platform and this platform for this platform. The platform sponsors, on the other hand, have responsibilities too. They have to manage the client's rules, the intellectual property, the revenue sharing, and the appropriateness. They also have a say as to whether it is an application that has a reason and the reason of the platform. And they also may subsidize and promote certain projects and also promote their infrastructure within the developer community by writing developer forums. On the next slide, basically we summarize the lessons that have been learned from commercial platforms. So the best platform strategy is not necessarily the best product. It's the strategy that brings us the most applications, the most diverse set of applications. However, it's important for the platform sponsors, the Microsoft, the Google, the Facebook, and so forth, to follow the strict strategically defined mission that leverages their strengths Another lesson that Apple, Microsoft, it's better to maximize the value of the infrastructure and the intellectual property and not overly protect this intellectual property. And now in the second part of this presentation, I will talk about applying this concept of platform revenue model to the postal data industry. When we look at the various elements of the platform revenue model, the application to the postal industry, you can go down the list and check what do we have and what do we not have yet. In the postal world, we essentially have an infrastructure that's it can be described in several fashions. But in the physical sense, we have a distribution infrastructure that delivers packages and letters. We also have an infrastructure of users and addresses that are known to the system in a way that cannot be duplicated by other private entities. We have an ecosystem that we have a large collection of stakeholders, individual users, we have businesses, we have businesses that are generating mail to a large extent. And we'll take a look in the next slide at who stakeholders are and who those ones are. We have third-party applications that are running on the platform. And there's a question mark there because on some postal operating systems, with some postal operators, there are some applications, there are some third-party private commercial service providers that are there. And so, these applications. Is there a business model, a platform business model? And the answer to that is most likely no. There isn't really a business model orientation or platform orientation because postal operators, they're providing applications as a service, so it's not a coordinated service. There are no usually general plan rules. There may be some ad hoc rules that are designed for certain applications. And so the next element is there a platform strategy with a postal operator? The answer to that is definitely no. There are no postal operators that have a platform strategy. As opposed to probably using a quick code which has attempted to provide third-party services that leverage their own personal infrastructure. But it's not clear that there is a strategy that has been enunciated that has been spelled out to leverage their infrastructure at this time. Just a quick reminder on this slide of the postal platform, what the layers. We're not going to develop this very much for the multi-services. Here are the five layers of the postal infrastructure. At the bottom is the real estate, the facilities that are owned by the postal service, which enables them to provide distribution. The blue layer above that is the equipment, the tools that enable the distribution to take place, like sorting machines, the trucks, and so forth. The third layer above that, the yellow layer, are the controls that are working the network that understands, know, and practice the skills that they're going to their work. The next on top is information that is flowing through postal infrastructure and that enables it now find its place in the network, as well as the intelligence detection and intelligence that enable management to measure how well their network is doing. On the next slide, basically, is more detailed description of the postal ecosystem. The consumers, of course, the advertising. Not every postal operator depends or leverages advertising. Increasingly many do. Publishers and printers that are creating the mail, a lot of advertising mail. Consolidators, third-party logistics providers, and other transporters that provide private transportation to support mail system, in particular in the United States, where the large network of private transporters that bring the mail together and consolidate it in order to receive discounts from the postal operators. The banks and the financial services providers, policymakers and regulators, the postal operators, and the carriers that hold together the network, the physical network, and the technology suppliers and other service providers. So on the next slide, we are taking again the diagram of the postal platform that is going to be a platform business that we introduced before, and we've socialized it in a way. So you can see the ring that represents the postal infrastructure there, and again, there are physical information and content, financial rings that together form the infrastructure. So you can see the blue stick there, the planks that enable the application to come into on the left side and the right side of the infrastructure, you have essentially the switches and the receivers, the stakeholders in the model. But around the infrastructure, around the circle, there's four areas that within which products and services can be provided by private companies. And the top left is the commerce. Top right is government. Lower left is new logistics, different forms of urban and local logistics that are created, and new forms of e-commerce that are created by leveraging the postal platform. And on the right, lower right is market intelligence, how to leverage the information about the users and their habits and so forth in order to target marketing intelligence and marketing in order to create more postal volume. I'm going to now talk about a couple of examples of where service are or could be under a postal platform business model. One of these examples is made up, does not really exist. And the second one does exist. The first one, this is shown on this slide. The next slide is a made-up example. Here we've given it the name Postal. Obviously, an Indian name, Indian origin. And this is about a fictitious company that caters to the Indian community outside of India in a particular country, and provides services that are targeted to this community. For instance, they would, this company, this fictitious company, would target the community and try to sell them through a website items that would be purchased in India itself and sent across the network, the physical network, to them. In particular, for instance, to a parcel terminal that's shown on the lower, in the middle of the slide. So essentially, this deploy the item, and then work cooperatively with postal operators to physically bring these items into the postal network from overseas and have them distributed by the postal operators to perhaps privately owned parcel sellers. So that's one idea, and the advantage is that the third-party company would develop the supply chain flow and the marketing strategy and so forth privately with their own capital, but then would have arrangements with the postal operator in order to steady the flow of goods from India to the particular country where it is destined to, with an arrangement, probably a preferential arrangement with the postal operator. So that would increase the flow, or target the flow, to the particular postal infrastructure platform that we are talking about, and increase the volume without requiring from the postal operator to develop all other infrastructure that's required by this marketing company. The second example is an example that actually is in the United States. And in this case, a company called Lively, in cooperation with a company called the Pass, which is the area of shipping sales. This United Pass company leverages the change of address records that are made available by the U.S. Postal Service, and brings these address records and make them available to the Lively company, which then prepares specific marketing material, coupons, and offer for services to those who are moving. So when people move to a new location in the United States, they will receive in the mail offers for local services and coupons for furniture or other services that are really targeted to them because their knowledge from the postal system that they have used. So something the Lively company has developed all this software and all the flow of email that's being generated by this Lively company, specifically targeted to those who move and are recorded in the U.S. Postal Service change of address. So, to summarize a little bit what we just talked about, we believe that the platform business model can have a transformative effect on the postal ecosystem. It can enable private developers, private people to come up with innovative applications that would reimagine the market. Instead of putting pressure on the postal operators to come up with a definitive new version of what the mail business is, the platform business model enables private entrepreneurs to come up with test ideas at very little cost to the postal operators. Essentially, this approach enables postal operators to extend the value of the mail and the value of the postal infrastructure, and to create what we referred to earlier in the presentation as the private network effect. Now, how do we move this business model forward? A strategic approach that aligns the mission, the corporate strength, and the marketing. In other words, it's very important for the business to really define in a very clear and talk about that in a second. What our areas is new applicants that would increase the mail volume, which is best for the postal operators to involve. And the third element that's very important, generally, start putting together plans, sets of rules that define how private operators can come and join. It's very important to make these rules general and applicable to a few participants so that the rules don't become ad hoc and having to be developed one at a time with application. On the next slide, we have identified 7 areas in which platform type application could be undertaken for postal operators. The first one is, of course, e-commerce, which is shown on the diagram before. And so, e-commerce applications that would bring volume to the postal network exist, but not necessarily in an organized way towards the platform. Retail services is now a convergence of retailing into a multi or channel strategy. Financial services, of course, could also generate sales. New logistics, the ability to exchange items at a localized market, for instance, through types of Craigslist sales that we can ship to the postal network. E-government and community informatics, again, leveraging local government to generate areas for the development of the platform in the postal. So what is needed to move forward in the postal environment? On the next slide, we talk about the elements of the next step. And one is the charter document. Basically, the charter document would set out overall vision for the postal platform. First, the strategic analysis, what are the missions, strengths, and the market needs of the postal operator. And even though it looks like a standard request, when we find that in many operators, there isn't such a vision that's really articulated. Then defining your businesses for platform strategy. What are the application zones that are most applicable to a particular operator versus another operator? And leading to the development of the overall and fairly general blueprint of how postal operators can and should move towards the platform. The next step would be to develop a series of plans or general approach to plan. What's the platform organization? How does it fit with the rest of the company? What's the communication plan and outreach programs so that developers and service providers can approach and make an interest in developing the platform? What is the overall business plan? How are resources expended? What are the rules for intellectual property framework? And what essentially the given set? What will the operator give in order to bring service providers to the network? Finally, a more detailed plan of attack. What is the implementation plan, and what are the processes that will lot of money, and it's a platform approach, and then the private operators, private developers to bring in the capital and take on the risk. If the strategy is implemented in the correct manner, this will create network effects. So it will bring users to the Postal network, and at the same time, it will bring volume and create network effects, bring more devices to the network as well. And in general, it will extend the life of the mail, which is objective that all the Postal operators have to have. However, a strategic focus is required. A Postal platform will not happen by happenstance. It will not happen in the random fashion for the one of the service providers are interested in bringing their services. There is a need for organization. There's a need for a clear mission statement as representation of the company's strength and its market focus. And then, once the strategic intent has been identified, a plan must, a detailed plan must follow. Outreach towards the developer, experimentation of the prospect, conferences, developers, and then the generation and creation of applications by private entities. That is essentially the presentation this morning. Again, I apologize for the delay, the technical difficulties. As I mentioned, I was actually given the presentation at 10:30, but nobody could hear. So hopefully I got it correct now. You're welcome to send any questions to by email, and I'll have to respond. The slide will be made available shortly in SlideShare, and you will receive a link on how to access and download slides for your own usage with, and the video and the sound of the presentation will also be available in the next few days. So I'd like to thank you again for attending, and I hope that you will see you again next month for the final presentation in our Postal webinar series. Thank you very much.